Brian White is almost home. Are you like following a scent? Or, at this point, you should be really good at getting back home.
You would think, but the scent is hard to pick up. So I am once again in Rohnert Park near Santa Rosa. I will probably leave this area Wednesday at noon and be home by Friday.
Okay. So, yes, well, hopefully your family misses you. That would be good.
Oh, fingers crossed.
All right. So, part of this trip, I think the most important part of the trip was over the weekend was the X event. I forget the
X takeover.
X takeover. That's right. The X takeover event. And so you had a chance to rub shoulders with all of the or bunches and bunches of the influencers from all over the country and world. I got a couple of questions about it, but just start off major takeaways. Anything that just you went, oh my goodness, I didn't know that.
Not so much. I got to meet Lars. Um, uh, it was fun when Herbert met Lars. Lars said, I watch your videos. So great to finally meet you. And when I met Lars, he said, and what do you do? Ah, you watch Herbert. You should have seen me by now. Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, and then down at the diner last night, I got to meet Franz for a second time. So that was great. And he remembered me, which is even better, way better. Uh, so, big takeaways. It sounds like what I'm hearing people reading from the tea leaves the uh, is that the big epic product unveil may be the Roadster. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that, if that's accurate, if that's the correct reading. You gotta, it's tough. You're trying to interpret the words of Nostradamus. So
Right.
it could mean anything. But the big thing is, the big takeaway is the employees are more enthused and excited than ever.
Wow.
Because not only do you have Lars or Moravi at the event,
Right.
not only do you have Elon as a surprise guest speaking for only 10 minutes, which somehow turns into an hour,
Right.
not only did you have Tesla there with a booth with their solar power wall, and they brought an Optimus, not a working one, not a demonstration one, but just a physical one, and the semi and the cybercab. But there were a lot of Tesla employees who were there in a personal capacity.
Hmm.
So I got to meet with a gentleman who works on Optimus, who is on the Optimus team.
Yeah.
And I said, "What can you tell me?" And he said, "Nothing. I really want to, but I can tell you nothing." But what he did do is share with me all kinds of insights about other companies,
Hmm.
his
You.
non-Tesla
Right.
observations,
Mhm.
because he can see the same things we can,
Sure.
but he sees them through a very different lens. And I asked him questions about how hips are chosen, about how wrists are chosen, not at Tesla, but at other companies, and the variety of options. Now, Dr. Scott Walter will tell you all about that as well. But it was very interesting to hear the perspective. And this is happening. This is absolutely happening. If you look at something like Apple Car, and I've met Apple Car engineers, they will tell you that when they were working on the project, they were tight lipped, they were buttoned down like nothing else. They're still under NDA, they still won't confirm or deny anything. But there are anecdotes that are outside the company. The Apple Car engineers knew that my car is going to be in a museum. People will look at it and go, "This is the car that changed the world."
Hmm. Hmm.
And if I did have insights on what I learned, I wouldn't share them, but I have some ideas. The car was going to be everything. It was going to be a revolution. And they didn't sell the IP, they just threw it in the archives.
Hmm.
So it is just forgotten
Hmm.
history. And it's tragic. So at these events, my apologies to my fellow speakers. I don't go to the panels. The panels are recorded. I'll watch them later.
Right.
I'm here to meet the engineers, to meet the
Sure.
people, to learn things, discover things. I had a wonderful conversation with Ray from Blue Power Systems, who has a product there that they're getting off the ground, but that's not. I did a video about that, but while we were getting set up for it, Ray and I had a chat, and I said, I didn't even tell him. At the end of the first video, I said, because he's watching from just off screen, and I said, and he doesn't know it yet, but Ray is coming back to do a second video with me where we're going to nerd out on the engineering, because this guy is a modern day Nikola. He's educated. He understands, but more than that, he's a heavy duty tinkerer who holds a bunch of patents. And I asked him questions like, how can Lucid get so much horsepower out of so few kilograms? Are they just shaving the weight? And he said, no, there's about 3 different ways you can do it. Here's what they are. And they're probably doing all 3. I was like, okay. Then I asked him about CyberCab. You know what the requirements are. I ran him through them. And he said, and I said, tell me what that motor is going to look like. And he had some ideas what it would probably look like. And it was fascinating to hear from someone with that much knowledge and understanding. Those 2 videos, by the way, did not perform well. They're for a special kind of viewer.
Special viewer.
Yeah, we're getting into the fringe of the fringe of the fringe. But my questions were of sufficient quality that he said, come back to the booth tomorrow. I'm going to have some things I have to show you, some of my invention stuff. And it was fascinating.
Cool.
So those are some of the things. And the last thing that I would say from the X Takeover that was really interesting, Corey Steuben, formerly of Monroe and Associates, was there. He has been the vice president of midsize at Lucid. And I said, buddy, we miss you. Why are they not putting you on camera? And he said, as soon as the car's out, I'll be on camera. Oh, I'll be on camera. I can finally talk about what I've been doing. But he's been promoted to vice president of supply chain and cost reduction, something like that. And I was like, that's where they need you. So having talked to Corey, my confidence in Lucid's products is higher than ever.
Up from what, 25% to 27?
I've had confidence in their products.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't say it has necessarily gone over 60% confidence, because first generation cars have first generation car problems.
Sure.
But for midsize, it doesn't have Corey's fingerprints. It has his DNA. It has his decades of experience in teardowns and cost controls. And I mean, he looks at it not from the design perspective, not from the manufacturing perspective, but from the lean design perspective. And so it was wonderful seeing Corey Steuben. And I have, my confidence in their financials remains shaky at best.
All right. So you were watching, of course. I assume that you did bother to watch the panel where Franz gave his presentation and where Elon gave his presentation.
Lars and Elon.
Lars and Elon. Yes.
I have not had a chance to catch them yet. I caught most of both of them in person, but I haven't watched them.
So I'd be curious to know, even though you didn't get a chance to watch them, whether there was any buzz, because I did a video on Sunday morning, which is the biggest number of video I've done in a long time, probably since the last time you helped me get over 20,000 views. It was a blowout, because what it did for me, what I thought I saw, and I'm wondering if there was any conversation like this at the show, is that between what Lars said, Lars, right?
Yes.
What Lars said and what Elon said, it sounded to me like they were confirming what I had put a video out several months ago, or about a month ago, that by 2027, 2028, Tesla will not be selling any cars for personal use.
Why would you? Why would you? Okay. Now, I've said that wheeled transportation will remain a big part of their business no matter what.
Right.
That doesn't mean they have to sell it. And for that matter, you own a diner, put Optimus on roller skates. That solves that problem. It's got wheels now. Optimus was on display at the diner. It is not a confidence-inspiring demo. It is very slow and cumbersome, and it requires like 2 people to attend it
Does it? Yeah.
that you can see.
Yes. Yes.
So, and there might be a third one somewhere operating it remotely. I don't know, but it was, but I did learn, because partway through the guy was like, battery's getting low. He just plugged him in from the back, right in the middle of his back, plugged him in. And I was like, ooh, is that a NACS port? It is not. It's a different port, which is a shame. It'd be fun if you could just
Right.
plug him in, but probably too much juice, but you can always moderate that. So yeah, I'm not worried about automotive. Tesla's just a car company, Randy. You know that. Everybody knows that. Well, if we're going to be silly, Tesla is just a restaurant company.
Right.
Mind you, it is the restaurant. Did you know that Tesla has the largest market cap of any restaurant in the world? Because they have 140,000 employees, one location. That's why it's so crowded.
Yeah, no kidding. All the employees are, oh my goodness, how can they even get them all in? I don't know.
They even said every department had a hand in designing this place.
Yes, that's right.
So
they did say that. Yeah.
we know that there's 140,000 people in this restaurant company.
Yeah, so it is only a restaurant company, only a car company. But so then you believe, or you believe that it's possible that in a couple of years, Tesla will no longer need to, want to, or have any reason to, because there won't be a market for personal sales of a vehicle that is potentially going to go into an autonomous fleet, which is my claim, is that they're going to be worth so much money in an autonomous fleet that consumers won't be able to afford to buy them. And if they did buy them, somebody would try to pick up the phone and try to buy it from them at a higher price.
So I will. There was a time when I believed if I don't buy a Tesla soon, I may never be able to.
Right.
I no longer believe that, because Tesla's production capacity, even before robotaxi, is sufficient that they could robotaxi the world quicker than I think society will want them to.
So that
quicker than
becomes the big issue,
society,
right? That becomes
right? Because there's a generational shift. There are people who continued riding horses for a long time. There are people who didn't get email until 6 months ago. I don't know. It's weird, but hey, that's just how some people are.
Yeah.
Half of us humans, in my estimation, maybe it's not half, are gatherers. And there are people who will always want to have their things.
Mm-hmm.
And because Tesla will have the production capacity to outpace the demand for autonomy, and you said, well, yeah, but it could be much bigger. Yeah. Put up another factory. I mean, and what I would see that would be, it's like, well, but it's so valuable. That's based on today's price of autonomy. In 5 years, when you could buy a robotaxi from Paris, deploy it in Australia, never see the car, and it just prints money, it ain't going to be $100 a month. It ain't going to be $8,000 up front. And I'd ask the team, does FSD come with the price of the car? And they said, oh gosh, I don't know. I assume so. Otherwise, what is it? And it's like, well, then I don't think it can be 25,000, because the autonomy alone is worth more than that. So I think what would happen is Randy could still buy a Model Y, Brian could still buy a whatever, but it wouldn't be a robotaxi. And if you wish to activate robotaxi, the price is commensurate with what you get. You might still get, supervised. Supervised might be included. Unsupervised, but without access to the network or the API to be on a different network, might have a much higher cost.
Yeah, so I think we're aligned. I've started saying about 2 months ago that as we roll it out, even at this early stage, we're going to have a chicken and egg problem. How many robotaxis do we put into Austin in its current configuration, and then how many more do we need to put out for the next size geofenced area? And then do we put out too many because we can afford to, because we're Tesla, or do we put out too few and wait for the customers to come? So I think this is going to be an issue for the next many years. I mean, it's still an issue for, Pepsi Cola or Coca-Cola when they enter a new market. is to know how many to ship, even though they've got a lot of data to help make that decision.
It's impossible to manage that much data, Randy. A human can't do it. Wait a second. I feel like we're onto something. Wouldn't you have loved to have the brain of an AI logistics company when you were manufacturing?
Yes, yes.
Now, and now imagine that your product, instead of having a couple or a couple dozen parts or a couple hundred parts, has thousands,
Right.
and your customer base is global. Humans can find some good solutions to puzzles, but we're really bad at zooming out far enough to see the butterfly effect. And Tesla's very good at that, but they're about to get a whole lot better because they have access to this compute. And unlike I can access compute too. Amazon Web Services, I could run something. I could hire OpenAI to do something.
Sure.
But I'm competing for the clock time, for the compute time.
Right.
And when it comes to a Tesla internal product, and this has been, I think, confirmed when they were saying Grok 4 can have multiple agents that each take a different approach and then give you a single answer.
Yes.
Internally, they could spin that to 1,000 agents,
100%,
1,000,000 agents. Maybe not 1,000,000 today, but maybe 1,000,000 today. And you could literally get a notice that says Grok will be unavailable for the next 10 minutes. Yeah. Okay, solved. We just solved whatever huge problem it's solved. At the event, there were Tesla employees who came of their own accord because they are Tesla nuts like us. And you don't always see that.
Right.
When I've been to other car events, Ford employees didn't show up at the Ford booth to talk to the Ford guys to nerd out.
My company was super exciting. I mean, it was one of the most exciting water bottle companies you're ever going to see. However, when we did a trade show and my employees were paid to come, they didn't want to be in the booth. Okay.
No. And they certainly, when they left the booth, were done talking about it. And that's kind of a big deal. Now, the other big news of the weekend was scalability. Now, I'd heard qualified rumors before starting around Thursday that we could see the map expand into San Francisco by Friday or Saturday. It didn't happen. We were all checking our phones. I wasn't checking my phone. I know my phone ain't about to start buzzing. But a lot of people there. Herbert's got the app. Dr. Know-It-All's got a lot of people there have the app. And on Saturday, late Friday, early Saturday, they started getting notifications saying, we're going to be in California, please accept the new terms of service. And it is expected that when this rolls out, it may roll out with a large coverage area.
Yeah.
And it's all about scalability. And as I explained in my panel, Farzad said, there's a big difference between Waymo and Tesla when it comes to scalability. And I said, yes, if you look at Waymo's coverage map versus, Tesla's coverage map, you will notice a vast difference between the two.
Yes. Partially it'll be the picture.
Yes. Yes. What funny shape are we doing this time? Who knows? The options are unlimited. You know what? Do the hedgehog. Haha, yes. Big hedgehog map. That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be, again, your point is well taken that they can make the map whatever they want it to be, whereas Waymo is going to be only what they've actually mapped, what they've actually laid out there.
Yes.
So this is obviously important. Okay. All right. So
I will offer one last thing. There were people who criticized John Stringer's interview questions. And they said I thought he did a good job. If I had done the interview, I think I would have done worse because my questions would have been deeper and they all would have been, I can't tell you that, right? So John did a great job. He had a list of questions. He pushed, Elon pushed back. He pushed a little more. Elon said hard no. And then John threw out the questions and said, let's reset. And so as a result, John Stringer from the Silicon Valley Owners Club has a masterful way of getting Elon to not stop talking. And while Business Insider or Wall Street Journal might get 20 minutes out of him, people like John Stringer and Sandy Monroe can hold him for an hour, and Tim Dodd as well.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was a pretty good interview. I thought there was some unusual questions that are not what we hear from the standard, pretty much anywhere in the world he goes, and we just hear the same old questions and the same old answers, actually almost verbatim. So I did think that there was a better quality of question. Of course, I think that you or I would have been slightly different maybe in some of the things, but not that we're probably ever going to get that chance. But hey, who knows? Life is, the Earth will be rotating on its axis for a few more years, and maybe there's a chance.
Well, maybe if you cared, Randy, like have you ever considered like writing a book about him or something? I feel like you have.
Well, see,
See,
it didn't work. So this next book is not going to be about Elon, although I'm guessing that Elon's name and Tesla name will pop up in our book about AI, maybe almost
shortly. The book is coming out very soon. Drafts are already being submitted. I'm excited to see the finished product. The thing with Elon is he's very busy.
Busy?
And
yeah.
I felt really bad. There was one panel that came after Elon, and how do you follow that? That's really tough. And they understood. They're like, yeah, it sucks, but I get it. Mm-hmm. We have to be flexible to whatever time he could do. Right.
Yeah.
And because he is, as it happens, a fairly busy individual.
Fairly busy, and has and a few people are wanting to get a piece of his time. They'll take anything they can get. All right. So, okay. So that's the main thing. My main thing was this confirmation of the idea. And I think people, I like the way you said it, that, if they can make 3 million or 3.5 million cars per year, it's possible that they will have a market to private individuals beyond 2027 or 2028. It will depend, as Kathy Wood probably would say if she was right here now, if the price drops under $1 per mile, maybe not. Maybe those 3.5 million will be needed each year in order to make that transition. But if they stay above $1, I think you could be right. We could be looking at a time that might stretch out into, who knows, 2029.
But you could add more factories. If you're getting margin, why ignore it? It's why the S and X are still in production, even though they no longer contribute as meaningfully to the company's financials.
Yeah. My speculation is they will not add more factories, that they might be able to expand what they've got. But when we figure that each car is worth 5 vehicles, each car that they make once they're automated are worth 5 vehicles, then if they're making 3.5, let's call it 3 million, that's the equivalent of 15 million a year. And that is going to rapidly eat into the other manufacturers' abilities to even be a business.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll let that go. We'll close it out here for now. We will get together again and have more stuff on Tuesday night. So follow Brian wherever he goes. In fact, when I say that, you realize I mean it. I mean, it's like all over the country. You can catch him in any city that you would not normally have gone to.
Often true, not universally so.
But they're good cities. They're fun places to go.
Fun places to say. Ocala, Chattanooga, Muskegon.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
And
then we just got to add Oxnard and Walla Walla and we'll be set.
That's right. Yeah, you keep forgetting Rancho Cucamonga.
So much fun.
Definitely
just write a song about it.
Okay, why not? All right. So, and that following him would normally mean on a day-to-day basis, future Ozza. So please do that for sure. Brian, as always, thanks for jumping on. And for all of you out there, it's been great talking to you.